welcome to another episode of Turn Left. I am your host, Indiana's own Dana Black. I'm working on the studio constantly trying to make it better. I got some foam in here. I'm going to get some carpet in here so we can get that echo out of here. But we're working on it, trying to make sure that we are bringing you quality sound and quality video for as we talk to these amazing candidates and people who want to represent us at all levels of government. I hope everyone had a fantastic 4th of July weekend. I did. I didn't work on Thursday last week. Y'all didn't have a show. I apologize. But you know what? It's all right. Sometimes I just need a little time off. Kick it with my friends. Get recharged. Make sure I'm ready to go. Because now, after the 4th, everybody's getting ready to do their thing. People are announcing stuff left and right. People are running for governor. Yeah. Woody Myers is the first one to throw his hat in the ring. Dr. Woody Myers, let me give him his proper due. Dr. Woody Myers is throwing his hat in the ring in the Democratic primary. I know for a fact that we've got 3 amazing women who are willing to take over Congressional District number 4. I know for certain that Christina Hale and Dee Thornton have thrown their names out there. Those are two powerful women in the 5th. Y'all didn't need me up there. There's a whole bunch of women that can handle some things up there. I see that Janine Lake has actually thrown her hat in the ring for the 6th district again. So people are, 2020 is on folks' mind. But you know me, we still got to pay attention to 2019. Don't get too far ahead of the game. Make sure that we're all tuned in and we know what's going on at our local levels. So you know me, I got a rant. There's just a couple of things that I just got to get off my chest.
Is this what the 4th of July did?
This is every week. Because every week, somebody on the other side of the aisle is doing something I don't like.
They speak.
They go. They show up somewhere. Right. You know, I think Mitch McConnell said it this week. You know, he's like, yeah, I will always be the line of defense. If Trump loses, ain't nothing getting done. I mean, this guy, so there's somebody actually running against him down in Kentucky.
I contributed to that campaign.
You did?
Yes, I did.
You know what? I'm not even going to be rude. Yo, y'all welcome to the show.
Oh.
Candidate. Because normally I do the rant, but you right there with me. So it's like, I'm going to go ahead on and bring her on.
I did think maybe I should have waited.
No. But you know what? That's conversation. That's what we like, right? So y'all welcome to the show. Candidate for mayor of the city of Kokomo. Yes, right? Kokomo. Abbie Smith, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
that. Yes, I got a rant. My first rant is obviously one that should speak volumes to people, every person. And I don't understand how this is happening in our society, especially when we have cell phones and videos and 24-hour news cycles and social media with multiple platforms. Jeff Epstein and the judicial body that allowed him to do what he wanted to do with 14-year-old little girls. Now, we've already seen the docuseries on R. Kelly and his shenanigans, and we've heard about Bill Cosby and his shenanigans, and we know about Harvey Weinstein and his shenanigans. But to me, you know, what R. Kelly and what, you know, Fred, I want to call him Fred. I want to give him a whole new name. I don't really give a damn what his name is. Right. Epstein, his behind. These people are taking our children, our little girls. I want the most precious and the most vulnerable among us, and was trafficking them for sex. And in Miami, they were like, yeah, we're not even going to prosecute you, and you don't even have to show up, and, you know, you can come and go as you want. Let your valet come pick you up. My question still remains, who is looking out for our little girls? I mean, I don't understand how this is even happening in a time where there's enough evidence, there's enough proof, there's enough ways to watch our children. And when these predators, because listen, I'm not going to tell you that every child is going to be safe, because when a predator wants your baby, he is going to come for your baby. And I'm assuming that there might be some female predators out there too. However, and they're talking about there's going to be a lot of powerful men that fall. ladies, get your ballots ready. That's all I'm saying, because there might be some openings. But enough of this. When do we start caring about our little girls? When do we say it is not acceptable, Roy Moore, for you to run for Senate when you were a pedophile? Enough of this. It is time that I had to talk to some folks this week because I'm struggling with where our humanity is right now. We're separating our people at the borders. We've detained for profit, no less. We are detaining young people that have caught things while they're being detained for 60 days when they shouldn't be detained no more than 7 days. But these for-profit institutions are raking in money off the misery of young people. Adults sometimes make crappy decisions, and sometimes, people just do what they do, right? And it just happens. But when you're talking about babies, and when that man said, well, the gates are open, they're free to go wherever they want. I'm sorry, where is a 2-year-old supposed to go? I'm sorry. I know cartoons are awesome, and I saw Boss Baby like everybody else. I saw Boss Baby, but I don't think there's any Boss Babies in these detention camps that know their way around. Who is looking out for our little girls? Who is looking out for our babies? I know in America when gay marriage was the thing and all these hyper-religious people were talking about, this is the end of America if we let gay people get married. I'm sorry. America has a whole bunch more to pay for if we don't step up and handle this. If we continue to let other Americans cause this kind of harm to children, y'all, what kind of special nonsense are we on? I mean, it doesn't make any rational sense. There was a judge that actually scolded the prosecutor for not advising the parents of a 16-year-old to not press rape charges against another 16-year-old because he came from a good family.
Oh, right. Well, not really.
So the 16-year-old can't get retribution for being raped because he came from a good family? What? Yo, ladies, you know what? Forget all of that. Forget about waiting on men to look out for us. We need to stop waiting on men and elected officials who are elected officials or men who are sitting on the bench to save us. If you have gone to law school, consider being a judge. Consider running for one of these judgeships. If you have anything in you to consider running for office, run for office. Run for office, because the bottom line is, they're not going to look out for us. It's obvious. It is obvious they are not looking out for us. It is time for us to look out for ourselves. And the only way to do that is to become judges and become the elected officials that set the rules to make sure that people who harm children never get to do it again. And that's one of my rants. But the other one, those education reform people, yeah, they did a good one. They let the charter virtual schools get away with $40 million. I'm like, how did that happen? $40 million. I want y'all to think about that. These virtual charter schools were lying about the attendance and how many people were attending those schools. They even said that a dead kid was still attending these schools. Now, we have a teacher shortage. Governor Holcomb swore he was going to give teachers a raises, but he couldn't get his Republican supermajority to side with him to give teachers a raise, which means he is not a leader. Come on, whoever else is going to get in the party, let's get going, because we're going to take this dude down. We're going to make sure people understand that he is not a leader for all of us. All these school reform people, they cutting money and taking money for vouchers, and $40 million gone. That could have went to teachers, could have went to school systems, could have went to some of our rural areas, our urban areas. It could have went a lot of places. It could have went for our special needs kids who need just a little bit more. It could have went for our kids where English is their second language, just to give them a little bit more. But no, we wasted $40 million on virtual charter schools. And of course, you can always wait on Attorney General Curtis Hill to get that money back. I'm certain he's working on that right now. Not. Y'all, listen, it's time for us to step up. The school reformers are messing up. They messed all the way up. Losing $40 million is a lot of money that teachers could have used. If nothing else, that could have went to the supplies that they have to buy because they don't have all the supplies that they need in school. Time for us to step up. Time for us to make a change. Time for us to get involved. You know what I'm saying? I don't know people calling me. They act like they don't know that Turn Left is on Thursdays. They act like they don't know. So y'all, those are my rants today. And if those things don't get you fired up or slightly pissed off, then, something's not right. I mean, I know some people got pissed off at me a couple weeks ago about something they thought I meant, but I didn't mean. And if you can get that pissed off about that, then I'm going to need you to get pissed off about things that are impacting people's lives for real. For real. These things are real. All right, y'all. Yeah, I'm excited. Y'all going to like my guest today, okay? I went up to Kokomo because Derek Camp was the party director up there. And Derek Camp is one of my heroes. He almost took down Jim Merritt. We almost got rid of him, but he keeps showing up again. He's like Jason. We can't get rid of him. Now he wants to be the mayor of my city. Not happening. Yeah. Not on my watch. Y'all know my saying on that one. Not on my watch. But I got a chance to go up and listen to the candidates before the primary. And ladies, this is what we looking for. I'm trying to tell you.
Thank you.
It's we get that energy, that moxie, and she got the support that she needs. Y'all welcome Abbie Smith to Turn Left, who's running for the mayor of Kokomo.
The great city of Kokomo.
The great city of Kokomo. I mean,
Thank you.
What? I'm excited because I've had a lot of ladies on here who are running for mayor.
Yeah.
I see a trend here. I see a wonderful trend of women executives. Mm-hmm. I'm loving this. This is fantastic.
I am the only candidate in our race with executive experience.
Wow. So you know what? Let's introduce yourself to the people. Okay. Tell them who you are, where you come from.
My whole life story.
Yeah, I want it all. Because we want to fall in love with you. Democrats. Yeah. See, Republicans fall in line. Democrats fall in love. We got to know what's going on.
In our heart of hearts and feel it every second of every day. Yes. So, my name's Abbie Smith. I'm running for mayor of Kokomo, and I am excited to be doing so. The closer we get to the election, the more I feel that in my gut that I got to win because I got stuff to do.
Right. I love it.
It's I always wanted to win. Obviously, I wanted to serve, and I'm excited. But it just the closer it gets, I got stuff to do. I got
we got work to do.
So, I'm originally from Tipton, Indiana. So that little county.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of my favorite counties to go to. Yes, there's a group of amazing Democrats there, and they feel a little left out sometimes because they're so small. Yes, but I'd go and visit them when I can.
So you can imagine growing up in Tipton, Indiana, as a Democrat. Tom Dolzel's running for mayor there. I'm excited for Tom. He's a good guy. That's where I'm originally from. My parents are divorced, so I grew up part-time in Indianapolis and part-time in Tipton, and got married, and I went to Purdue, boiler up. Okay. I got to pause for that.
Okay, shout your school out, girl.
And moved to California 2 times. So my husband and I moved there and back twice, and the second time we had 2 little kids, and we came back.
Because
from the Midwest, it's who we are. It's just here, but also free grandparent babysitting.
Gotcha.
And I've always been a working mom outside the home, and so it's where we belong. We're supposed to be.
And by the way, your husband has amazing hair.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know if y'all have seen her. I'm like, look at that. That is amazing hair.
It is. It's a pretty fun joke. Everyone tells him, and every time he gets his hair cut, and he does have amazing hair.
Well, so that was one of the things I loved about meeting y'all. Like, yes, you meet the candidate, and I apologize, these lights get hot. I love meeting the candidates, but it's really wonderful to see their support system. Yeah. Because none of us does anything alone. Right. We have to have help. Right. And when I met him, I wasn't sure who was on the ballot because he's just as excited about your success and what you could do.
He shares your understanding that Democrats have to fall in love with the candidate, and I think it's sometimes a frustration. He's like, but we got to win, so we got to fall in line at some point, right? And so he
good luck with that one.
I know.
I had the best line I've ever heard is Republicans are like herding sheep, Democrats are like herding cats.
Oh yes,
we're not falling in line. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it.
What we do, but. Anyway, so I've been in community organizing my almost my whole career.
Okay.
And I like helping people. It's a challenge every day. Every day is different, and I've been doing this work, watching people talk past each other. So I'm sitting in the room, seeing people are there. They've got an issue, workforce development, right? They can't.
Right.
I can't hire anybody. I can't get anybody past a drug test. I can't get them to show up on time. I hear the same stuff,
same
right?
stories.
And then I go to local community college, and they're like, we've got these training programs, and this is the amazing advanced manufacturing we can do. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I work at United Way. I'm on leave right now, but we've got people coming in working 2 part-time jobs trying to support a family, and they're like, I just need a good job. I need to get trained so I can get one of these jobs. And I just think, am I the only one that was in all 3 of those rooms?
Right.
So that's why I'm running.
Okay.
I've been doing this work, fighting for people, and feel like the opportunity came up to leverage more resources, and I'm going to make those connections.
And you know what? Kokomo could be that sparkling city that covers it, because Kokomo was an auto manufacturing town. It still is. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it even though manufacturing isn't what it used to be,
completely different.
You guys could, the way you're talking, it sounds like you're trying to be the example to every other industrial city. Hey, this is how we do things different. Let's talk about some of the things that you're interested in changing and some of your plans. I want to dive in.
So excited.
Yes,
what's the stuff I gotta do?
When we're gonna talk about it, when we're talking to women executives, it's about what our plans are.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's adorable that men have a tendency to bypass our ability to come to conclusions.
Right.
Because sometimes I'm in IT. Yeah. So I recall being the only female in the room, and they act like I don't know nothing.
Right.
So let's talk about your plans.
I'm still often the youngest at 38, and often the only woman.
I remember 38.
It was a good year. Good times. Good times. Noodle salad. My biggest issue right now is about removing barriers for people for their financial stability.
Okay.
So I talked a little bit about job training, and we can't talk about job training if we don't talk about childcare and access to quality, affordable, accessible childcare.
Because a woman would think about that, yeah.
Oh, right, and we see it over and over and over again. It's the barrier to families getting the 2 incomes that they need. Mm-hmm. So you cannot talk about one without the other. And especially we have these programs in place, right? We, especially job training, those exist, but nobody's connecting the dots.
Especially when childcare in Indiana is higher than 48 other states.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I don't know why we even pretend to have a conversation about workforce development if you're not going to talk about childcare. So I mean, it's nuts. And actually, I was listening to a podcast on the way here. And, they were talking about Democrats talk about job training and retraining and all of that. And it doesn't work. I'm like, well, no, it doesn't work if you don't talk about childcare.
Right, because we're talking. Women don't get to stay home anymore.
Right, it's not an
option.
No,
it's a privilege.
Some people do, and that's wonderful. Or
it's a privilege.
Yeah, and they make very big sacrifices.
And we have to be real about that. Being able to stay if you're married and you want to, and I don't even go with the male female anymore because you know what. There are 2 men and 2 women raising babies all over the place. But if one of the spouses gets to stay home, that is a privilege.
Yes, for sure. Or a huge sacrifice.
Right. And so if you're single, you don't get to stay home.
Yeah. Or your parents are watching your kids.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah. So it's I've done 131 and a half miles of canvassing.
Wow.
And so that's the thing that resonates the most with people at the doors is that they're either have a kid in childcare,
right,
or they just hit the lottery by their kid going to kindergarten, right? It's like the best day ever because you're like, well, I'm rich, right?
Wait, I'm sorry, a lottery for kindergarten?
No.
Oh, okay.
It feels like you hit the lottery because they're old enough. You got a raise, right?
Gotcha. I was like, wait a second, what's going on at Kokomo?
No.
Did the State House get a hold of your school system too?
And then, or their grandparents and they're helping out, right? So you're trying to make it work, especially when you're in a manufacturing community with a 24-hour manufacturing
Right,
work
right.
cycle. So it's it's one of the biggest barriers people have to getting the skills they need to get the job that sustains their family. So, call me crazy, but when I decided to run for mayor, I looked up the job description.
Who does that? Can you imagine that? Had you ever ran for office before?
No, I have not.
Really? And so when you decided to run for office, you actually did what?
Research, yeah.
You researched
I did.
the
I learned.
job?
I know.
Did you research how to get on the ballot too?
I did. It's okay.
All of that.
It worked. So 3 jobs, right? 3 main areas: infrastructure, public safety, and economic development. And so it's again interesting to me that people would see those as separate things. I think they dovetail right into each other. They're integrated completely. And so we've done a lot of work in infrastructure, some of it popular, some of it not so much in Kokomo in the last 12 years.
Okay.
But the point is we need to look forward and look to the future.
Absolutely.
So I think we need to get proactive with our resurfacing, things I never knew that I would know a lot about. Pavement management. Do you want to talk about a pavement management system?
All I know is that I do remember that we had an asphalt convention right here in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And they were asking the vendors who were at the asphalt convention about, driving in Indiana, and the asphalt vendors were like, "We have no idea how y'all live here.
Right.
We have no idea. What are y'all using? What are y'all doing?"
So
Republicans.
Cough, cough. So really just kind of a back to basics. Let's get resurfacing before we death by cold patch. Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like this is a system we can work out, so that we can talk about the really tough issues, right? I'm not making light of any kind of infrastructure needs. We got to do it. It's part of daily life. But this is a thing we can figure out.
So when you talk about infrastructure, I'm going to go a little deeper.
It's fine.
I know people talk about roads and bridges. Talk about your waterways and maybe your electrical grids. What's going on in Kokomo?
So they're not having, that's the question that they're not having, right? So, or the conversation they're not having.
I am.
You are. I know.
Indiana's own always has that conversation.
That's right. We're going to get a rant first, and then we've got the details. So, yes. Lighting. I know that lighting in neighborhoods is a big issue. Duke Energy just got done with a lighting audit for streetlights, so we should have information on that soon, and we can look at what do we need, what do neighborhoods need. So that's exciting, especially for Kokomo.
Especially since dude about to raise prices.
I did see that, yeah. Mm-hmm. So they have we've had a lot of areas annexed to Kokomo in the last few years, and so it's just time to.
What's your population there?
About 58,000.
58,000. Okay, so you guys are what I hate when they say a second tier.
Yeah. Well, actually, what I found out is everyone is a second tier city. India is the only first tier city because it's a Unicov model.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, and I hate saying that because
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not a value judgment. Obviously, we're the city of first, so we think we're first anyway. Because we are.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go with that. Why would I argue with my guests?
You should not. I'm right. So lighting, sidewalks are also an issue, and I think people think of those as
afterthoughts.
They do, and they think of them almost as an amenity, but they're not. I mean, absolutely, people. It's a mobility issue. For
absolutely. Well, especially since these young folks don't even want cars; they don't want to drive. I'm like. That's strange for us, right?
I know, yeah.
We, like 15 and a half.
My license was
15 and a half.
I was driving the lawnmower. Like, this is how I'm going to drive my car, right?
I used to play in the car. Like 15 and a half. I was like, I'm saving up my dollars now.
I'm going to drive away.
Yeah, away. Not coming back.
On my own.
Yes.
Because I'm an independent woman.
All day.
So... Anyway, but yeah, I mean, and it's not just young people too. It's our seniors as well.
Yes.
So I talked to a gentleman in one of our retirement kind of communities, and he chose where he wanted to live, right by the creek and the bridge and the pending river walk in Kokomo, because he knew he would be able to get around downtown, and so he's just waiting for that sidewalk to be finished, and it's in progress. But we have. One of the highest ridership in our trolley system, right?
And your trolley's free too, isn't it?
It's free, completely free. And they never thought that as many people would ride it as have. And I mean, we just blew the goals out of the water because people need it to get around.
Yeah, and those that can't afford cars.
And people using any kind of alternative to walking, right, need to get sidewalks
bicycle trails and things of that nature. Yes.
So I think it's a much bigger issue. Water, we have Indiana American Water is who we work with on our drinking water and all that. But I think people have issues. They have like the consequences of water and drainage and all that, those kind of issues, but they don't know where it comes from.
Right.
And so that's what I've really learned over the last few months is people need to know more about the way our city works.
Right.
And they want to know more.
Right.
I mean, not all of it, right? Not everybody wants to talk about combined sewer overflows, but it's important, right? I mean, if you want to know why stuff's coming up through the drain in your basement, then, I mean, that's why. And I can tell you we're about 2/3 of the way through a 25-year mitigation plan. And we plan to keep going. And we can expedite that, right?
Yes.
If we want to expedite it, it's going to cost more. Probably going to be a rate increase. So it's up to the voter or constituencies. Do you want to do that? Do you want not to? So, but it's a bigger conversation.
The way you speak is like common sense. Like, my mama told me that common sense ain't so common. Right. But the way that I'm listening to the way you're explaining things to me, and if you're explaining the same things to me like you do at the door, it's just common sense issues. And you're like, yeah, it's not really flashy and sexy, but I bet you hate having to spend a couple grand every time that crack comes through your comes through your basement.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. Okay, so we talk about it. That's a big one. Public safety. That's always a big one, right?
So first, I would say that a lot of those infrastructure issues can deliver on public safety goals. So if you increase lighting, if we can take care of parks, if there's places for people to connect to different neighborhoods and places for people to gather, then that can deliver on some public safety goals that you wouldn't ordinarily think are public safety goals. So,
right.
Public safety. We've had a lot of attrition in the police department over the last few years and fire department. Okay. So, in my opinion, we do need to staff up.
Okay.
If for no other reason, 50% will be eligible to retire in the next 2 to 3 years. Oh. So if we don't start hiring now, we're really going to be in trouble. So it's a long onboarding process. The training is intense. The academy is on a wait list. And so we really have to make sure that we're aggressive and
Are you short on both fire and police?
Yeah. So and the retiree numbers are growing, right. So even I think before the end of the year, 5 or 6 are eligible to retire.
So my question is, I know here in Indianapolis, like the wait list to even get on, especially the fire department, but the wait list for IMPD and for the fire department is long. Yeah. Do you guys even have a wait list?
You mean to be hired? No. So I think but it's also a training issue for the academy.
Okay. So do you guys have your own academy there in Kokomo?
No. So so there is a wait list for that. So they go through in waves. But I think that what we really need to do is make sure that the city of Kokomo is an attractive place to work.
Absolutely.
And
live and stay and don't have a brain drain like the rest of the state.
Yeah. So, I mean, especially for people in public safety. And I think, I think about myself and people that I've hired and what they want. They want training. They want advancement opportunities. They want to see a path toward the future. So if we're looking at hiring younger officers or younger firefighters, then they have to see a path forward.
For success, right.
And they want to do cool, innovative things. That I am actually the oldest millennial there is. My husband fights me on that sometimes. But, and so
you millennials, the things you all argue over. We're Gen Xers. We're just happy about life. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure about that, but I mean, I'll give it to you.
Listen,
how could I be rude to my host?
Wait a second. Time out. Millennials are the most the Gen Xers are the most overlooked generation. Yes,
and you never hesitate to tell us.
Right, exactly, because
you're just happy.
Because we're and baby boomers get crappy when I say this. Yes. We're footing most of the bills because we're the ones that most of us are still in the workforce. Right.
So not most of the bills actually by the data because millennials are almost
I thought y'all couldn't get jobs. Right. I thought we're still living at home with mom and dad because we can't get jobs. I got my participation trophy, so where's my money?
So every time somebody talks about millennials like that, I like to remind them that I'm actually a millennial. So
and you know what? And it's all
sometimes we run for mayor.
Well, you know what? And it's all generalization because you know what? There's a group of millennials, and we're going to talk to them a little later about the YDA conference. Yeah. I feed off of young people, so they don't know. I'm actually sucking their energy. Yeah. And I will be young forever.
Right.
So, but and I think actually some of our boomers and some of our Gen Xers need to actually start embracing more of our millennials. Yeah. We're joking here because you and I are cool like that.
Right.
So don't y'all get all offended talking about Dana's hating on millennials because that's what y'all do.
And I don't hate Gen X.
No, we don't. But there is value in shared experiences, right? Because I have different experiences because of a different time. Mm-hmm. You're coming up differently, and we can grow from each other. And I always tell, especially at democratic functions. Mm-hmm. Older folk, would you please go grab one of these young people and be a mentor? Mm-hmm. And young folk, will you actually listen to them when you get them? It's got to be a two-way conversation. Sure. So but anyway,
what I know about millennials, so anybody under 38, right?
Right.
In the workplace is we're the adapter generation, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not that we think what came before us is bad. It's just that we see it. It's great. Let me tell you how we can adapt it and change it and make it better. Right. So I think a lot of times that's misinterpreted as not listening or bucking the system or something. Mm. But so really? to the point of public safety, to be an attractive employer for. Period, right? But if we're talking in the context of public safety, we want to make sure that we are attracting officers and giving them the freedom to reinvent what public safety means. So, policing in the 21st century cannot be the way that it was in the 20th century. Okay,
so let's talk about the demographics of Kokomo, and then as you try to attract law enforcement officers and firemen, because listen, we can't talk about public safety and not talk about the demographic makeup of cities and towns and how who's policing who. Right.
For sure, and training. So. You're asking specifically about
what's good? In Kokomo. I'm trying to feed people information. Yeah. So if they think about they want to do this thing, Kokomo ain't but 40 minutes up the road.
Right. Yeah.
And if Abbie Smith becomes your mayor, I mean, when? You better check me, girl. When Abbie becomes your mayor, this will be your boss. So that's what I'm trying to.
Yeah. So please,
go to Kokomo.
So I believe it's about 8% African American and mostly the rest white. Though we do have a growing Latinx population. Good. And no, the police department and fire department do not reflect the community.
And the fact that you know that speaks volumes. Thank you.
You're welcome. But what is exciting is I'm up for this challenge. So I do have actually a track record of implementing diversity and inclusion programs, and it's just as simple as tracking data and looking for candidates, looking for committee members, and asking and getting outside of your network. I think
that's what's up.
It a lot of times, many times, not unintentional, right? I mean, you know who you know, but push yourself to be able to open a file drawer that has more files in it than
you don't want. You don't want a binder full of women.
No, I know.
I'm sorry. Did I know?
I mean, I know enough women. I don't have to have the binder.
Yeah, and sometimes we have to step out of our comfort zones, don't we? Yeah. Right? Sometimes you have to go places where you wouldn't normally go to attract the people that you would normally attract.
And you gotta sit in a room and at a table and through discomfort and people not communicating the same way that you do.
Exactly.
Right? Just sit there. It's okay. You'll make it. It's okay.
Good. I'm glad that's something that's on your form.
Yeah, so I am excited about that. The other thing that I would like to do is reimagine training. It doesn't mean current training is bad. It just means what else can we do? I think we underestimate the level of trauma that people have been through. So as officers go into, or firefighters or paramedics or anyone.
EMTs, right.
They go into situations and they see behaviors being presented. The reality is there's a lot more that's hidden going on behind the scenes. So if you are safer, if you can de-escalate that situation, the person you're trying to serve is safer if you can de-escalate the situation. And if you understand the difference between what's manifesting and then what might be driving it. So becoming a trauma-informed community and department to understand there's a lot more going on, especially when you're dealing with kids.
All right. So. The biggest and I think the hardest and the toughest of them all, economic development.
Oh, see, that's where I get really excited.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it still is. You're right. It's still difficult. But I do think, for the first thing I talk about is it's not just police and fire that will be eligible to retire in the next 2 to 3 years. It's 50% of the entire workforce will be eligible to retire in the next 2 to 3 years. So every major industry, they're beginning to look at that and kind of freak out. Currently, 50% of our steelworker members are eligible to retire? What if they
Wow.
did, right?
Right.
So one of our major employers is Haynes International. They're a great corporate partner in the community, and they employ a lot of people. And if Haynes is in trouble, then we're in trouble. So they have good jobs. They're jobs that support families, and we need to get people skilled up and able to.
And so these are not necessarily 4-year college degree jobs.
No.
These are skilled trades.
Yes.
Where you can become an apprentice and go through the unions and get the necessary skill sets you need, or even through an Ivy Tech or something like that.
And unions are great partners in this. They've been training people.
Unions are great partners. Period. Only people that don't like them are greedy people that don't want to share in the success. Right. Those are the only people that don't like unions.
Right. So, they already know how to do this. And so I think leaning on them heavily to figure out how do we get adults skilled up, right? So, K through 12 sucks up all the attention in the job training and career technical education conversation, and they're doing a great job, and we want to help them more. But we'll never fill these numbers with high school graduates in the time we need to. And that's even if 100% of the high school graduates went straight into skilled trades, which they're not going to do.
Okay.
So we've got to start talking about adults. We've got to start talking about people 18 and over, and figuring out how do we do pre-apprenticeship programs, job training programs, attach wraparound services with community partners that already exist. To make sure we stabilize that family and make them more successful in their first 90 days. So,
even if you were looking for people who are wanted to move to Kokomo, how is your affordable housing? What does that look like?
So our housing is very affordable if you can buy.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So that's the thing. We have a great housing market. It's tight right now, right? People like it is everywhere, but
there's still places to rent and things like that are affordable. We're not building 900 square foot, $500,000 apartments.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that. But we do. Our rental market is less affordable than our buyer's market, which I think is why financial stability is such an important part of a community's economic development strategy. If your families can't afford to buy things, then businesses won't locate there because it can be a cheap place to put a business, but businesses have to make money too. They have to be profitable, and to be profitable, they have to have consumers. So if our families
common sense,
if our families aren't financially stable, then I think that hurts us. And then the next thing is kind of a dual track. We our manufacturing industries right now, and our background in that means that we have lots of very smart, innovative engineers who are hidden inside these big companies, and we're happy that they are. But also, I want to find them and bring them out of
to
there.
the public and bring them to the public sector.
And we are the city of first, so Elwood Hayes.
Where did that come from? Is
because we had the first, I think, horseless car so the Apperson brothers and Elwood Hayes, and we just invent a lot of stuff.
Go.
There's a guy named Scott Brandenburg, if he's watching. I love this guy. He has like 53 patents, and he lives in Kokomo. I mean, we have tons and tons of smart, innovative people, and we just we don't talk about them enough. So I would love to partner with them and figure out how do we
create
grow
a think tank.
Right. How do we grow these innovative businesses and wrap around them so that we can get capital invested, and we've got a workforce, right? We have the ability to train people to manufacture things, and so let's diversify that industry, but let's capitalize on the talent that we've got. My next door neighbor, actually across the street neighbor, he invents different kinds of batteries, and so he used to work at Delphi and then started his own business, and Green Cubes Technology, and their sustainable batteries, and he soups up golf carts in the neighborhood too, right?
And so that's what happens. I mean, because I imagine for him it was like, okay, Delphi's bye-bye.
Right.
So I need to figure out a way to sustain my own life. I know how to do this thing. I've been doing it for however long I was at Delphi. I'm going to take my skill set, and now I am instead of just being an employee, I am going to be a contributor to the economy. That's amazing. That's an amazing story.
I think it is, and it's not the only story. So Andy Mark is a robotics company, and it's the same story.
And so you want to bring
a couple of guys that worked at Delphi, and they're like, I want to be. I
like it here,
and
I like it here.
My kids are here. I want to live here, and I'm going to make sure that I can. So I'm going to start my own business.
And I love that you know these fellas by name, not just some guy I know.
Right.
And you're talking about, okay, how can I bring them in? Because see, to me, that's what public-private partnership is about, is that we all sit down and talk about innovative ideas, not just how much money you're going to give me.
Right.
Because just throwing money at a problem doesn't solve the problem if you don't know the direction that you're going in.
Right.
And if you've got amazing, innovative people that are right there just doing batteries and robotics, what can they do with automating traffic lights?
Right.
What can they do?
Right. What else can they solve?
What traffic patterns are they seeing? Anything. What other kind of problems they
Get
can
them
solve?
involved.
I think it's great that you want to bring those folks in.
So,
smart people in government. Wow.
So the cool thing is, actually, I had somebody give me some feedback that they'd gotten from somebody else that said something like, "I wish she would lead instead of all this facilitating stuff." And I'm like, I just don't. Do you know what the word facilitate means? To cause to be done, to smooth the way. I think that bringing people together is what people are really hungry for. Like they want someone who listens and puts the pieces of the puzzle together.
Right.
And that's what I've made a career doing. And,
okay. I love it.
And
when you're with United Way, it's never about you anyway.
Right.
So if that's your background, this is the perfect natural step for you, because you've been serving, deserving and needing communities through United Way. Mm-hmm. Now you're just saying, I'm going to do it from the public sector point of view. You did the nonprofit thing. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes the transition amazing. And see, people, I want y'all to understand what I'm getting at here. Being a politician is one thing, and understanding the policies that come out of the White or the State House or comes out of council or whatever is one thing, and it really is a skill set you must have, right?
Right.
But there is But there is something. Sometimes you just can't teach it.
Right.
When you care about people,
right.
It's a natural. I mean, even when you care about people that don't even care about you.
Right.
But you still care about people. So you're taking that I care about people skill set from your nonprofit days.
Right.
And you're saying, now let me lead this city into the future because I care about people.
The
y'all
people
catching this? I'm catching it. I'm picking it up. All right, so let's talk now. You talk about economic development. I know when people, we try to bring businesses in.
Yep.
How's the school system in Kokomo?
Why are you making that face?
Well, because if the state,
show, you made a face.
I did, because if I keep waiting on the State House to actually take care of public schools, we won't have any, because they keep wasting $40 million on virtual schools that are lying.
Yeah.
The frustration level with my legislators.
Level 10.
Yes, with the legislators who were supposed to be leading our state into the future is leading us to the race to the bottom.
Yeah.
And I don't know why people aren't more pissed off about that.
Right.
I mean, if we don't educate our kids, what will Indiana be?
Right.
What will we be?
So I had a good friend, actually he's my campaign chair. We've been working on a kindergarten readiness initiative in Howard County, which is where Kokomo is. And once we got the data back and kind of the state of what's going on with kids from 0 to 5, he said, now that we know this, if we do nothing, who are we? And I was like, dang, Lewis.
We got
it really
this.
does call to question who are you in your core? And so somebody's
Brian
Bosma,
Jim Merritt.
Derek will take care of that, right?
Well, he almost did. We bring him back.
Let's try it again.
I mean, it's just how do you not care about our kids?
Right. So I
don't even have kids. You know that? I mean,
you're allowed to care about them.
I ain't even got any because I knew better.
Right.
My mother told me I was going to get back twice what I gave her. If I had kids, I was like, oh no.
So I have 2 kids in Kokomo schools, and I absolutely love Kokomo schools. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So our superintendent, Dr. Jeff Oswald, has done amazing things, very innovative things. It's very creative with integrated arts programs, international baccalaureate programs. So in, I think, next summer, Matilda, my eldest, will get to travel internationally, and we hosted 2 students from China for a couple of weeks. Like, he's doing an amazing job. All the teachers are doing an amazing job. All the administrators are doing an amazing job. Sure. And I absolutely love Kokomo schools. We have
good. That's good to know.
Yeah. We have a couple of other schools that also we have 5 school corporations in Howard County. So Taylor and Western and Northwestern and Eastern, not Eastern, but the others have bits of the city, and so they work well together. I have good relationships with all of them, and
I love that.
But we want to be innovative, we want to be creative, but the resources are strapped for them. And,
yes, because they're throwing away $40 million.
Right. So I went to.
I'm stuck on it.
You are.
Yes.
I mean, it's timely. It just happened, so
God.
it's okay. You're allowed. You're allowed.
40
right.
million.
Imagine what that could do. So I went to early on in the campaign. I have a good relationship with Taylor Schools, and they were hosting a suicide prevention and education program for parents. So suicide rates and ideations are high in Indiana for our kids, and so I went.
Oh, I think I messed up. There we go. All right.
Messed up the whole thing. How many? 10? One. It was me. I was the only one. This amazing school system and the amazing counselors and teachers they put on this event, and people didn't go. And I like to think it's probably because of communication and all that kind of stuff.
What?
But it was me. So I ended up turning the conversation around and just asking them, you talk to me then, and the thing is, mental health care in schools, it's unfunded mandate, right?
Right.
And
unfunded mandate.
Just keep thinking somebody
$40 million could fund that.
They could fund it. Somebody has to stand up and do the right thing. And if these kids live in Kokomo, then that makes them my constituents. And so if putting a mental health professional in every school is something that we got to do, then I think we got to make it a priority. And I know you're never going to hit workforce development numbers if you don't have the ability to recover from trauma that they've been through and be able to relate with others.
And kids are being exposed to more trauma now than us Gen Xers ever were. You know, all we wanted was our big wheels, our green machines, and our sit and spins. You know what I'm saying? And Hamilton County actually has an amazing model for how they're addressing the mental health issue. But they also have like a tax base that is
an amazing money
that they take out of Indianapolis. When they work at Cummings and Lily's and all those other places, Anthem and all that. I'm not judging.
You're judging.
Yeah, a little bit.
I can hear you judging.
Yeah.
So the thing is, but you're right. I mean, that's that you said, when will someone do something?
Yes.
And so here we are.
Here we are. You're doing it.
I mean, and it's happening more and more. You were talking about run for something. I do know how many times I've told friends to run. You should run. And they're like, just because you ran doesn't... I'm like, I know, but now that I know that the scariest part is saying yes, I think everyone needs to run.
Wow. And see, and for me, I'll be honest, I was the other one. No one ever asked. So I never had to worry. I didn't have that scary part, yes or no.
Yeah.
I just knew something had to happen.
Yeah.
And whether or not I won or lost was almost irrelevant. I felt like as a democracy, we need to make sure every person has a choice. Right. And if I can bring a different voice to the game, because you recognize everybody's not going to like your voice.
That's okay.
They're not going to like your opinions. They're not even going to like the way you wear your hair or the clothes that you wear.
They're really not going to like that. People don't like my feather earrings.
Why?
Yeah, and sometimes I wear cowboy boots. They don't like that.
Oh, honey, wait a minute. I've got 7 pair of cowboy boots sitting in the other room over there.
Well, so if you ever run for mayor, somebody is not going to like that.
They're going to like, but that's not the point.
No,
it's what you like, which is I want to represent you and help move your life forward through policy.
Right. Yeah.
I see what's happening. So you said you knocked on a lot of doors.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we talked about infrastructure was one of those things, but what else are you hearing out there?
Really, I think that's what they drive every day. I've kind of got what they see every day, what they can wrap their head around. I think it's very scary for people right now.
Right.
And what I sense is anger at doors, and then really it's masking fear. So I think it's just fear of the unknown. Either you've retired and you're not sure if you're going to have enough money before you die.
Right, because healthcare costs are going up.
And people are living longer.
Longer.
You think
because we replace parts now. You know what I'm saying? We're like, I need new heart.
Yeah, or you're 2 or 3 years from retirement, like I said before, and you're not sure if your job's going to be there, or what if they change the game.
Right. I can imagine being like 60 and not sure what's going to happen with my job.
Right. And that's a lot. That's where a lot of people are. Yeah. And where's your job? But your healthcare.
Your healthcare,
that's the thing. And then really anybody under that, and certainly any millennial and at least half of Gen Xers, like things have been taken away. The expectations are low as to consistency. So we're not entering
because there's a whole lot of hoarders now.
Right. We're not. I mean, we don't expect that it's going to be there. So I think there's this general I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm just trying to live my life, and I'm really mad because I'm driving over potholes, right? And
on top of everything,
right?
On top of everything else,
right?
I gotta drive over the
pothole. Right. And so, I think that what a city's job is just to
do the right thing,
operate in service to its people. And so if you take care
all
of the roads,
politics are local, baby,
right? And if you take care of the roads, if you take care of the trash service, if you make people's lives, you take care of that, and you provide a place and an environment where people can raise a family and live a good life, then that's the job.
That's the job.
People will say to me all the time, I know this is small, but my trash can doesn't have a lid, and I don't know what to do. So I think people just don't know.
Right.
If you think about your every day. If you're taking the trash out and your trash can doesn't have a lid and it rains or it stinks,
and you told me that I have to use this big Abbie
yes, and so that I think is that stuff is meaningful, right?
And it's irritating.
And it's irritating. Yeah, that makes your life work. So it's kind of an interesting, I think, mixed bag with the people think it's mundane, but it's stuff that makes your life work. And
yes,
and then you can go focus on other stuff. Right?
So, did you say you at this moment you don't have a Republican opponent?
I do.
You do. Okay, we don't worry about them then.
We
don't worry about them.
There's not.
So
I don't see. I am running for mayor of Kokomo.
You're going
anything else.
So because you're going to be the next mayor, you do have to reach as many people as possible. Yes. So tell the people where they can find you.
Okay, so I'm everywhere. I've interrupted every Facebook video that anyone has watched in the last 6 months. So I am on social media, Abbie Smith for Mayor on Facebook, and same thing on Instagram. Also on Twitter. And then I have a website, abbiesmithformayor.com.
And they can donate and volunteer on those two spots?
Yes, they can. I have amazing volunteers. It's been awesome to watch people just come out and help. And I keep saying, why are people helping me?
Because you're speaking to what they need.
I think that's true.
And they believe in you.
It's wonderful. So I'm trying to be what they need me to be, and you
can't please, and you can't please everybody.
Right.
But if you're leading your city in the right direction, the vast majority their lives will improve.
Right.
And the reason why people are following you, I was in the same boat.
Yeah.
How did I get 5,000 friends? I have no idea. Right? But what I learned in being, because it was never about glorifying Dana. It was all about highlighting what's wrong and how we can fix it. And what's wrong, highlighting what's wrong and how we can fix it.
Yeah.
And that's resonating with the people that you're talking to, and that's why you're getting what's. And I'm telling you, your demeanor is low key and cool like that. But if people are really listening to what you're saying, your message is solid. Your message is solid about let's just take care of this common sense stuff.
Right.
I'll let Indiana's own do all the shouting.
Right.
But look, I'm trying to make sure that we got these potholes taken care of. They got trash can.
Get a lid on your trash can, man.
That's all I'm trying to do. And that's why I fell in love with you right away, because it was like you were just a common sense type of candidate.
Thanks.
And I feel like once you win, people will feel like they can approach you at the Kroger or whatever grocery store you go to, and they will feel like they are talking to a friend.
Yeah.
And that's what I took away from you the first time I had a conversation with you.
I appreciate that.
All right.
So we gotta go because I got one more thing to say.
Well, say it, Mama.
Okay. Because it's your own studio, so you make the rules.
I make the rules. Right? I make the rules in Black Girl Studio.
I want to share a story about doors. You asked about that, what people are talking about, because people are so nice at their doors.
Okay.
I do not understand. I think about my own history with answering my door, and I'm I need to be a lot nicer. So it's really
karma
it's
is
very
real, man.
cool, right? And I just didn't answer if I didn't want to talk to somebody, but people are so nice at the doors, and I've had a couple of times where I've caught some people who really wanted to share some things that they did not like about me and did not like about Democrats, and so one particular woman said some really nasty things about other people, and I spent way too long at that door. It was so hot, and I just kept thinking, I am not getting this vote, and I've got to go. But I kept listening to her, and I kept listening to her. I was not fighting with her. I'm not arguing. It's your door. I knocked on it. And I left, and that was kind of the end of that. But I left feeling upset, and I should have just ended that conversation.
Right.
And so then I went to church the next day.
Okay, church.
And I love my church, and the sermon was about love and how to love people that aren't easy to love, and that's a fruit of the Spirit, and that's what you have to live out. And I thought, that's what I was doing. I
Yeah.
was just loving her.
Yeah.
And so even though that time felt like it wasn't
beneficial.
spent well,
Yeah.
I think about the lessons along the way that's what
And
I'm
you
really
never
learning
know
out of it.
that whether or not you
Right,
got
you
that
never know,
vote,
right.
because you took the time to stand there and listen to her
Yes.
moan and groan.
And no one else, I don't think, had done that.
Right, that's
That's what
I read.
Matilda said.
Yes.
Right, my daughter's name is Matilda, and I asked her.
I love the name.
Oh, thank
Matilda.
you. Matilda Eileen, she's our little old lady. I asked her if I should run and all that stuff. She said, "Mom, with
Yes.
all
How
the
old is she?
iron- She's almost 12.
Okay. Oh.
And
double digits.
the only thing you're going to regret at the end of the day is if you don't try. And I thought, oh, okay.
Gee, I wonder where she got that philosophy from.
I know. So I'm like, you're right. So this experience, if nothing else, it has just been cool. And it's allowed me the opportunity to
meet
be who I am and be able to,
and meet your neighbors.
Yes.
And create a community and bring that community together and coalesce around it. It's those things
I got
are so
stuff to
important.
do.
Because
So
you
I
got
gotta
stuff to do. Y'all better
thank
elect
you.
my girl, because she says she got stuff to do. She's trying to improve lives in Kokomo. Yo, if you guys want to help out, help her campaign, because there's no guarantees in any election, right? Everybody has to show up and everybody has to work their butt off. So if you're thinking about helping out a candidate, here's a candidate right here, Abbie Smith. She's running for mayor of as she says, the great city of Kokomo, because I'm not about to take that away from my city. But Indianapolis is always here. Anyway,
we can both be great.
Right, you're right.
Nobody said.
Okay, you're right. You're right. I won't be petty.
It's a false choice.
The
We
Gen
don't have
Xer
to
will
make
not
it.
be petty. But you guys, again, Turn Left is about bringing you people who you can support, right? Because we always talk about building our bench, and municipal race is about where we build our bench. We make sure we get those council seats, and we make sure we take care of those mayorships. But this is what it's all about: local politics at a very local level, making sure that we're taking care of every community. This is a common sense lady. She ain't all hype like me, but I'm telling you, if you was listening to what she was talking about, she's talking about real stuff, real solutions, and real ways.